everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. Today's book is 3 Wishes by Liane Moriarty. There is your front cover. I'll just get straight in with that blurb for you. They say trouble always comes in threes, and for sisters Lynn, Kat and Gemma Kettle, the year they turn 33 is no exception. Sensible Lynn is struggling to balance being a mother, wife and businesswoman without losing her mind. Kat, whose perfect marriage is the envy of all of her friends, never suspects that her husband has been hiding a secret that will tear her life apart. And directionless Gemma, who changes jobs and boyfriends every few months, has just met a new man who could be the one to unlock her hidden past. Through everything, the bonds of the sisters are strong enough to withstand whatever life throws at them. That is until the night of their 34th birthday dinner, when home truths are revealed and things are said that can't be taken back. This is in Australian fiction, contemporary and romance, so there is a bit of a mystery as common for Liane Moriarty books, but it's not as twisty-turny as some of her other books, though it does start the traditional way of Liane Moriarty books of having this explosive moment at the beginning of the book, and then you go back in time and look at what led up to that moment. This also has a unique viewpoint by the fact that through a lot of the story you are seeing people completely unrelated to the action witnessing the triplets, just in the wild. Basically just observing them and sharing what they feel about witnessing these 3 siblings together. So at the very beginning of the book you see them at their 34th birthday dinner. They have gone to a seafood restaurant. They are having this seafood fondue thing, which involves fondue forks. That will become important in a second. And you're seeing it through the point of view of people who are also in this restaurant. So you've got the grumpy man who's next to them who thinks they're being really loud. You've got the waitress. Their mother comes in a little bit towards it in that section as well. And yeah, you're basically hearing what happened at that birthday dinner from the point of view of other patrons at the restaurant and the waitress, where basically it starts off as all nice and you can see these triplets are celebrating their birthday. 3 cakes come out and then suddenly they start fighting and shouting at each other, and then one of them throws a fondue fork at one of the other sisters who is heavily pregnant, and the fondue fork penetrates the pregnant stomach. Yes, it does sound quite violent. The fondue fork, so sharp but not particularly long, so it doesn't feel like it's enough to really do that much damage, but after throwing the fork, the one who threw the fork passes out and hits her jaw. So then you just got the other one going, oh my god, and you need to call the emergency Australian number, which I have just learned, as I did not know it before, it is 000. So if you do not know what the Australian emergency number is, you do now, because I did not know before I made this video. But yeah, so you've got Lynn and Kat are identical, and Gemma is like the fraternal triplet. Basically, Lynn and Kat came from one egg and Gemma came from a separate egg. So you had 2 eggs and one of them split, creating identical twins. The other one is technically the fraternal triplet. This is going off on a tangent about multiples, which I'm definitely not educated enough in to understand at all. So you've got Lynn, who is mum. She's got 2 kids. She's got a teenager and a young baby. And she was also a businesswoman in the sense that she actually has her own business. She was the creator of a company that delivers gourmet breakfasts to homes, kind of HelloFresh style, but it's breakfasts, and allows people to have gourmet breakfast delivered to their home. And then you've got Kat, who is married to Dan, and she has liked the idea of becoming a mum. They have tried before, but their marriage has kind of hit a bit of a stalemate. I'll go into that in a second. And then there's Gemma, who she did have a fiancé and he died. They'd sent out the invite 6 weeks before the wedding. He was run over in the street. And you're basically finding out about what's happened in this year leading up to their birthday, which led to this explosive fight, which then, after the fight at the beginning of the book, when their mother comes in and comes to the hospital and she sees them all giggling in the waiting room, and it's just like, what is going on? Why do they have such this explosive fight, and now why are they laughing? She's there talking to her ex-husband Frank, who is the father of the triplets, going, have we raised monsters? Because they are in their mid-30s. They have had this juvenile fight in the middle of a restaurant, and now they are uncontrollably laughing in a medical waiting room. One of them with a fork sticking out of a heavily pregnant stomach, and the other one has like broken her jaw. Like, what is going on? You see that relationship between the mother and the father throughout the book. God, that was a doozy. I'm not going to go too much into that because that'll go into spoiler territory. But you see basically all of the sisters having like this internal fight with themselves essentially over what they're going through. So Lynn, you realise, is going through a point in her life when she's overwhelmed and you see her starting to have panic attacks. Kat, I will say in Kat's storyline, just to put it out there, there is pregnancy and pregnancy loss. So I just want to pop that one out there. And actually there's 2 different characters in the book talk about miscarriage. So I'll let you use the information however you want to use that information. Kat basically finds out that her husband may have been cheating on her when she overhears a phone call that he's had with another woman. And then you've got Gemma, who is dealing with the death of her fiancé, and through that you find out that the relationship with her fiancé wasn't as wonderful as you expected. In Gemma's storyline there are talks of domestic abuse, and so that's another one that let you be prepared for. And you see her dealing with how she feels about the death of her fiancé. And to be honest, I don't remember in this book a full conversation being had about what Gemma actually went through. You catch glimpses of Gemma's internal kind of fight with herself about how she felt when her fiancé passed away, and then her looking back on that relationship and confronting the demons of her own past essentially. But I don't remember that conversation actually happening with her siblings. So you've got these 3 different stories, so it's a bit of a slower burn, this one, than other ones, because I mean I think I talked about Truly Madly Guilty. I don't know why my brain, Truly Madly Guilty, I think it's all the L's that my brain wants to trip over. That one was definitely more on the slower side because it had so much build up to the event where you had actually no idea what happened there. All you knew was that something was supposed to have happened but you didn't know what. In this case you're told what happened. You are told that they had this huge argument, you just didn't know what the argument was about. You see the 3 parallel threads going through of their lives and how it led to this huge argument, and you realise it comes back to mainly a conflict between Gemma and Kat. Yeah, because I think it's Lynn who's the one kind of in the middle of the fight, but there is also a moment when you're reading it where it does give you a slight red herring as to who the pregnant sister is at the end of the book. Yeah. The main conflict comes between Kat and Gemma because of the fact that Dan, who is Kat's husband, is found to be having an affair, and then Gemma ends up in a relationship with someone who is associated with the woman who got involved with Dan, like the other woman. And then you've got Lynn on the outside observing it all and dealing with the fact that she's got this business, she's incredibly busy, and she's just gotten to the point when she feels like she can't handle it anymore and she starts having panic attacks, and she doesn't actually talk to anybody about it. The one that's the most open is probably Kat. There was a great moment when Kat is caught slashing the tyres of the ex and the new girlfriend, and to be honest, you're not angry with her because you're just like, your husband is a slime ball, and you feel that Kat has every right to be as angry as she is over the way she finds out about everything and everything that happens afterwards. But yeah, so they've all got their independent stories, and I'm going to leave the real cause of the fight to you reading it, basically, if you want to read it. I'm not going to spoil that part because there is a twist in there that I didn't see coming, but it's not like murder mystery style. It's more just there is a twist on who is involved and the cause of that argument. I feel like I've said so much, you get so little. Yeah, Three Wishes by Liane Moriarty. The fact that you do have the random chapters in italics of people just observing the triplets, I found really interesting, and it was actually one of the first questions at the end of the book for like book club people, asking like, what did that bring to the story? Why do you think these chapters were included? And I think it's because it's just very obvious that these sisters have more of an impact on people than they realise. And there's also one towards the end which kind of flashes forward, and you're just like, oh, is this going where I think it's going? And then it cuts to an actual jump forward with the three sisters. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it didn't change my enjoyment of it, and I did like the puzzle that it was leaving. I just did find it that little bit slower because the explosive moment at the beginning, it doesn't feel as explosive as you're reading it, even though, as I said, you know, they're in a restaurant, they have this very public fight, a fondue fork is thrown and the other passes out, and then you've got Lynn in the middle going, oh, for goodness sake. But there's almost a comedy to it because of how outrageous it is, how ridiculous it is, and the fact that also their mother turns up at the hospital and just sees them crying with laughter, and it's very remnant of my own family of laughing at inappropriate times. It made me feel like when I'm with my mum and my sister, my mum and my sister, we love having our girly days, and we laugh that we haven't been thrown out of anywhere yet, despite how stupid we can be together. And yeah, so the triplets relationship just reminded me of my relationship with my mum and my sister when we are together, and we get stupid and we get ridiculous and we argue about the stupidest things, to the point where me and my sister can be arguing about something. My mum will go, why are you arguing? You are both on the same side of this argument. So yeah, I felt like I identified with the triplets kind of in that way, of just having quite a bizarre relationship with a sibling, and in my case it was with a parent, where you can have really stupid fights but then also laugh about that at the same time. Yeah. I'm gonna shut up now. So Liane Moriarty, Three Wishes. Well, it all finished at a birthday party. How did they get there? That's just my own made up tagline. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this Liane Moriarty kick that I'm on at the moment. It's kind of like a family saga almost. If you like your family saga type stories, I think you'll enjoy this one. And if you do like Liane Moriarty's style of having that explosive moment at the beginning and then going back, I think it's a really interesting way of telling a story. And obviously this one has that unique moment of just having those just random chapters of people just observing them and going, hey, I saw these three girls who look like sisters, two of them look identical, and you're getting that information from completely unrelated third-party people saying what they see in these three sisters. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Stay safe, everybody. I love you all. Bye!